So without further ado, let's take you through your grid for the Masters Senior Cup and Gentleman Final for round two. Jim Ringleberg and Mathieu Delboeuf, an all Masters front row. François-Xavier Venet will lead the Senior Cup charge from the inside of row number two. He'll be joined by fellow Senior Cup driver Leon Leinsveld. Sky de Forny and Maxime van Schoenwinkel in the 677 and the 633 round out row three itself. 477 of Masters driver Vincenzo Schilacci will be joined by the 635 of Anthony Moonen. Then it will be Bjorn Verham in the 498. He'll be joined by Olivain Fay, who completes the top 10. Then Hubert Vautier, Sébastien Bieland round out row 6 in the 537 and the 404. The 631 of Kien Verheul and the 688 of Noah Mengal round out row 7. Delano Deckers in the 695 will be joined by Sibir Paganar on row 8 in the 669. Noah Hubert in the 694 will be joined by Masters driver Nicolas Chapelle in the 487 on row 9 itself, with the top 20 being completed by two Senior Cup drivers, Gaspar Delbar in the 602 and the 671 of Jasper Leenert. Jan van Asch in the 530, Michael Honey in the 580 and Livia Sampson in the 625 rounds out your grid. «14 minutes plus un tour pour le final de classe X30 Master, Gentlemen et les pilotes Senior Cup. And on pole position, it's the old stalwart Jim Ringleberg. Mathieu Delboeuf moved up to Masters this year and is in direct competition with the 447 on the inside of the front row. Get ready, hold on, and the lights go out. We're underway. Ringleberg cuts off Delboeuf with Venet trying to go up the inside, but there's a multi-cart tangle. Oh, it's a repeat of KA 100, Heat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carts involved in that melee. Maybe make that 7, and just goes to show how quickly things can turn around. And oh, there's one of the TD carts. So Bjorn Verham, Hubert Vautier, Kien Verheul, Delano Deckers, Noah Hubert, Gaspar Delbar, and Jan van Asch. Livia Sampson opted not to start in this race. So it does guarantee some modicum of championship points. So frantic start to the final. 7 drivers compromised within the opening corner, and some of them didn't even exit turn 1. Ringleberg has got a 1 3/4 second lead after the opening lap. That's not the first time this weekend that's happened. And straight away, Ringleberg in the mid. Oh, and we've had a tangle, 618. François-Xavier Venet, that might have been on the back end of Leon Leinsveld. And Leinsveld might be now still in third. No, it wasn't. It was, well, you've got Sky de Forny in third at the time. Leon Leinsveld fourth. So this is going to get a bit close. Oh, robustness there from Sky de Forny or Mathieu Delboeuf. And there is also... oh, this is getting a bit too clumsy now. I can understand jockeying for position. 3 wide and there's contact. Oh, I was outside of the top 10. I can hear my ears burning because race control are probably thinking, Okay, right, we're looking into that. We're looking into this. We're looking into that. Shout out to Dennis Anderkirk and Daniel Lampan, who have been our team for race control this weekend. Is always doing an exemplary job. They are the ones that have to look at all the evidence. A big thank you to them for the hard work they do behind the scenes. But Mathieu Delboeuf trying to do what he can. François Xavier Venet, I think, or is that? As Vincenzo Scalacci in the TV car that now is up a position. And who's behind him? I think that is is that? I'm just wondering who that might be. If that is Sebastian Bierland, I will be very, very surprised. I don't think it is. So Ringelberg has a nearly 1.8 second lead over Mathieu Delboeuf. Anthony Moonen, Vincenzo Scalacci, Jen Verheul is next up. So Verheul, one of the RSD karting alumni here, has made up 8 places on that opening lap. And diving to the inside goes Sky DeForney, Leon Leinsveld, the teammate of the official TD official racing team driver. François Xavier Venet has dropped all the way down to 9th and is ahead of Noah Hubert, who's moved up 7 spots. Sebastian Bierland as quickly as possible. So So now, with 9.5 minutes to go, Mathieu Delboeuf is going into hunting mode. He is trying to close in that gap to Jim Ringelberg and has taken time out of him. He took nearly 3 tenths out on that previous tour and has got the gap down to under 1.5 seconds. So Ringelberg will know straight away that Delboeuf is gunning for him. But, as I said, catching is easy. Passing is something different. However, great battle here between a couple of the drivers, I think one of which is Jen Verheul and Leon Leinsveld. That is the battle between the 631 and the 682. They are line astern. Leinsveld might dive to the inside. He does decide to do so. Scalacci is caught up to Anthony Moonen, who is leading in Senior Cup at the minute. Gaspar Delbar has dropped all the way down to, well, has dropped down to 20th. Maxim van Schoenwinkel has dropped down to 13th. He's being chased down by a young man from Belgium, Jasper Leenerts, who I've known for quite a few years. Right, we have got another kart off by the side of the track. Now, I was just trying to pick out where that was. That is, well, I can't see it from my line of sight. But the driver was clearly frustrated, had the helmet off. So I'm wondering if that might be over at the far part of the circuit. However, I did see our mobile camera try and pick it up. So who is the driver that is going to tumble? Let's see. Just waiting for the timing just to reset a little bit. And find out very shortly who is not moving. It could be Sibi Pagano or Olivain Fay, I think, or the two might be out. Olivain Fay started 10th, Sibi Pagano started 16th. But now, Mathieu Delboeuf has caught and passed Jim Ringelberg. Oh, we've got a fight on our hands at the front end. Oh, goody, he says, rubbing his hands with glee in the commentary box. But no, it's great to see these drivers, even as drivers get... I do say that sometimes with age comes wisdom. I don't know how much of that I actually believe, to be honest with you. However, There are drivers like Delboeuf and Ringelberg that know exactly what they're capable of, and they can parlay that into how they race out on circuit. And especially when Delboeuf was running in Senior Cup last year, Ringelberg was a master. Now, they're in the same boat. Welcome along, Mathieu, to the Masters class. Happy trails. And more to the point, it is a case of setting, the Masters drivers are just as impatient. They can be just as vocal, let's say, about how certain things transpire. And it's nothing against anybody. It's just a fact of life. But Delboeuf has pulled away from Ringelberg and now has a lead of nearly half a second. So pretty good going there for the 409 for CG Motorsport. 3 wide, oh dearie me. Anthony Moonen, you knew that was never going to happen. And a synchronised thank you very much from Vincenzo Schilacci. And I think the other one might have been, I think it might have been either Sky DeForney or Leon Leinsveld, one of the two TD karts. Let's see who is in front of who. It's Leon Leinsveld. Yeah, there we go. So the drivers making their way through. We still have another 5 minutes plus change and an additional lap to throw into the mix as well to see how things go on. But it is the fact that it's Sky DeForney leading the peloton, and it's a lengthy one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 karts. There's going to be another couple behind at least. Well, you've also got Sebastian Bielon, who's now up into the top 10. So this coming through turns 4 and 5 into 6 and 7 off of Marshall post 4. So it's just a case of putting your chess pieces where you can. Vincenzo Schilacci just got passed by François-Xavier Venet and has just been passed by Anthony Moonen in the 635. So Schilacci losing a couple of places. So Nicolas Chapelle in the 487 has retired on lap number 9. I'm afraid we're on to lap 11 as we speak. Fastest lap of the race so far, Sky DeForney, 57.209. And still, well, Jim Ringelberg is starting to try and close in on Mathieu Delboeuf. Was about 7/100ths of a second quicker on that previous tour, approximately. DeForney was quicker than the pair of them, but he's like 5.8 seconds back. Oh, dearie me. 6.31. Jan Verheul for RSD Karting. It's going to be side by side into turn 5 for the briefest of moments. And that was, well, Sebastian Bieland. And I'm wondering who was behind him at the time. I'm not so sure. It might have been Hubert Bottier possibly in the 5.37 for the gentleman class, and Bottier's done a really good job. He's won both heats. He's currently P8 up from 11th. But Ringelberg now still has Mathieu Delboeuf in his crosshairs. Great work by these two drivers. They have literally run rings around the opponents as Sky DeForney crosses the line. 5.8 seconds back in P3. Ringelberg now, with knowing he'll have kept his Hawkeye on that clock over the start-finish straight, and will know that time is running out. So he's going to start, I think, maybe throwing a little bit more caution to the wind and try and get that opportunity to come more his way as the countdown continues. 1:35, so once we cross the line this time, I'm sure we're going to have another 3 laps to go. So we're about to complete lap 13 out of a possible 16 laps of racing here at this 1.45 kilometre circuit. So it's sort of stabilising. It isn't staying stagnant by any stretch of the imagination between Delboeuf and Ringelberg. It's been anywhere between 3 to 4 tenths of a second, but it's Ringelberg that's now going to start to be a little bit later on the brakes, a bit more aggressive, but not to the point of being over-aggressive, because you don't want to cause any issues with, if you absolutely muller your tyres, then, well, you're going to be a sitting duck for anyone else that might be closing in behind you. And that's one thing that Jim Ringelberg will never want to have happen. The drivers make their way through the chicane, through into the right-hander here at turn number 11 off of Marshall Post 7. Left into 12, right into 13, left into 14. So 2 more laps to go in the final. Leading the way in Masters, Mathieu Delboeuf with a slender lead of now what is half a second ahead of Jim Ringelberg. Sky de Forny leads the way in Senior Cup, ahead of Leon Leinsveld and Francois Xavier-Vinet, who round out the... Well, Francois Xavier-Vinet has got through on Leon Leinsveld, and Hubert Vautier has dropped down to P10, currently leads as top gentleman. And there is an attempt by Bjorn Verham, was it? Yeah, Bjorn Verham from the Masters class through on Anthony Moon, and that was a good move there from the 498, as the timer has now officially expired. So, does Jim Ringelberg have any cards up his sleeve? I say that in the lightest of light-heartedest of jests at the moment for Jim. I've known him for years. Quite a few of our team have known him for years, as well as a friend and also as a competitor. But now, last lap underway for X30 Master, Gentlemen and Senior Cup. Olivier Fay has retired on lap 12. Jan van Asch on lap 14. So we're down to 18 drivers, rounded out by Sivert Baganar. So this might be the little boost up the backside that Jim Ringelberg might need. But the way that Mathieu Delboeuf, when he got past, has run his own race. He's not worrying about the man behind him. He's just worrying about getting that car over the line first. As I said, to finish first, you must finish. And that is exactly what Mathieu Delboeuf has been doing. Yes, he might have thrown a bit of caution to the wind through the chicane just then, but he knows it's the last lap. He knows that it'll be time to put the cart into mothballs once all is said and done. And the man from CG Motorsport, Mathieu Delboeuf, from the outside of the front row, comes out of the final corner. Et vainqueur ici en Ostricourt. Great job there by the CG Motorsport driver ahead of our racing's Jim Ringelberg. Sky de Forny takes the win in Senior Cup ahead of Francois Xavier-Vinet and Leon Leinsveld, rounding out your provisional top 3. And there is the jubilation. Now Delboeuf can enjoy this moment, the cool-down lap going into technical and Parc Fermé. Delboeuf wins after 16 laps by 7 tenths ahead of Jim Ringelberg, with Sky de Forny taking top honours in Senior Cup ahead of Francois Xavier-Vinet and Leon Leinsveld, who ran out the top 3 in Senior Cup and the top 5 overall. Bjorn Verham rounds out the top 3 in Masters. Anthony Moonen, 4th in Senior Cup, rounds out 7th ahead of Sébastien Biland in 8th. Hubert Vautier will become the best placed gentleman here this weekend, winning both heats and the final, finishing 9th ahead of Vincenzo Schilacci. Ken Verheul, Maxime Van Schoenwinkel, Noah Hubert, Jasper Leynitz, Delano Deckers, Noah Mengal, Michael Ohne and Sivert Baganar. The last of the drivers that made it to the end after 16 laps of racing, with Jan van Asch, Olivier Fay, Nicolas Chapelle and Gaspard Delbar unfortunately retiring at several points during the race. Olivier Sampson for the TD official racing team unfortunately not taking the start. We have one more race to go, and it's Mini, the final, up next.